Hey everyone, this is George Sawtooth. I like this gravel that they put in the cemetery. I'm in a cemetery, Eckley Cemetery, here in February. As you can see, there's no snow. Colorado has not had a winter this year. But I'm in the town of Eckley. I'm in the cemetery here. I'm in the cemetery for a reason. But before I go looking around in this cemetery, about 12 miles this way, south of Eckley, there was an old town called Happyville. And then 2 miles to the west of that, there was another old town called Hartstrong. But I guess before I get into those stories, Eckley, the town of Eckley was named after Adam Eccles, a foreman at the nearby Bowles Ranch. I don't know where the Bowles Ranch is or if it even exists anymore. It was established as a water stop on the Burlington and Missouri Railroad, 1883. Eckley was officially platted by the Lincoln Land Company in 1889. It apparently has a roping arena in the downtown area. A little later, I'm going to go downtown and see that, and I'm going to go see a couple like houses and possibly an old gas station. But getting back to Happyville, I hope the wind is kind of blowing today, so I hope it's not interfering with the audio on this camera. So Richard Gilmore, 1910, homesteaded Happyville and built a large barn and water well. Gilmore himself was the letter carrier in the area. He and his neighbors decided to call it Happyville. A schoolhouse was built in 1911, as well as a store, a dairy, a garage, and a machine shop. In 1915, a guy named Cleve Mason built a large store and started building various buildings in Happyville. Soon, Mason and the townspeople didn't see eye to eye, so Mason started a new town just 2 miles east of Happyville. He named that town Hartstrong. He literally moved much of the buildings in Happyville to Hartstrong. In the 1920s, Happyville started to lose people while Hartstrong saw rapid growth. And the town even built an opera house. Mason curiously worked at Denver's Fairmount Cemetery later on in his life and died in Denver at the age of 92. Hartstrong kept going until the 1930s. The crash market, the crash of 1929, the Depression, and finally the Dust Bowl days finally ended that town. But it had regular dances, a good baseball team that competed with other eastern towns. It also had rodeos and horse races. In 1932, the Orton brothers brought the circus to town. The curious thing, that town never had its own school, so all the kids had to go up to other schools like Happyville and Eckley and any other little town around here. But there's nothing left of those towns. About 30 years ago, there were still buildings there, but they've all been torn down. And earlier, I should say later last year, I got in contact with a guy named Randy DeWitt. He lives in Florida. And he says, hey, can you go out to Eckley and Ray? I have relatives that are buried out there. He says, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get out that way again due to my age and my situation. Right in Florida is quite a long ways away. But one person that he holds dear to his heart is his grandma. And let's go see their graves. Unfortunately, the grandpa died about a month before Randy was born. Here it is. Clester DeWitt and Clara M. 1895 to 1957, 1905 to 1991. Clara was a Christian lady. She really loved Jesus, but she didn't take her religion too, overboard. She's a little bit like me. So Randy said this lady was such a sweet lady. the grandpa had a filling station, and they lived in a house just near the filling station. So he wanted me to come out and see their graves. Here's some other DeWitts. David DeWitt, Ronnie DeWitt. Let's go check out this. They also drove an old Rambler that they would take to Yuma and sometimes to Ray to go get groceries about once a month. Yeah, let's see if I have other. I believe Clara's parents are buried over here. Let's go take a look. Let's see if see if I can find Clara's parents. It's just a little tiny cemetery. Right here. Lily and Faye Stevens, 1891 to 1913. Gleason. I think this person is related to Jackie Gleason. To the moon, Alice, to the moon. Yeah, Randy, he really loved his grandma. She loved kids. He remembers always going out to their house. The house always had a lot of trees. And the curious thing, I was looking in Google, Ancestry.com, and Clester and Clara had at one time lived in Happyville, just south of Eckley. And so probably when Happyville kind of declined, they moved into Eckley, established a filling station, and their house was over there. I'm really excited to go check out that filling station. I think that still exists. If I could find, oh, I think I have found it. I apologize if there's a lot of wind. Clara's parents are in graves kind of similar to this. Oh, this must be a child here. Grandson, July 9th to July 11th, 1927. Only 2 days. That's sad. Beautiful over here. There's some hills over there. Some hills just right over here. But it's just beautiful in the springtime. Oh, these are all children. The Rice children. 1900. Well, yeah, these are the children. Alice, Frederick, Alice, 1902 1908, 1908. George, 1914 and 1914. Kind of overcast today. Under down. There are a lot of these graves like this in this cemetery. Here they are, Walter. Found Clara's parents. Nora Lee, Walter, and Clark Walter, 1879 to 1954. I think I even have a obituary on Walter. Born in Rockport, Missouri, July 29, 1878. Yeah. Departed this life at the Ray Community Hospital on Sunday, November 7th, 1954 at 6 a.m. Was married to Nora Crabtree at Tecumseh, Nebraska. To this union were born 3 children, 2 boys and 1 daughter. In 1916, the Walter family moved to the Eckley community where they farmed for many years. Clark was a member of the Eckley Community Church, and it gives a list of the surviving family members. So, all right, let's go take a walk and see Randy's grandparents one more time. It's so dry out here. If Colorado doesn't get some moisture soon, it's going to dry up and blow away. Murphy, Homer, and Alma, 1894 to 1948. Alma died in 1972. She lived quite a bit longer than her husband. I wonder if there was an accident or what happened. Maybe got cancer, who knows? Let's just have my notes here. Of course, the wind has to be blowing. Raleigh, 1893 to 1964. This looks like a new burial here. Robert Vance, 1950 to 1926. Here's a temporary marker here. Mother, September 19th, that's my birthday. but I wasn't born in 1928. Louise Vance, mother. All right, Randy, let's go take a look at your grandparents again. Can't stress how much Randy loved Clara, his grandmother. I'm sure they're having fun somewhere, wherever heaven is. I think it's right here on earth, we just can't see it. All right, George Sawtooth, Eckley Cemetery. Cute little cemetery. I like this little cemetery. I'm gonna go take a drive through that little town, check it out. Okay, take care, God bless. George Sawtooth,